So one of the things that we at iWoman stand up for is the environment. We feel like as women, it's our job, our duty to do everything that we can to help save this beautiful planet that we've been gifted. And we're always happy to collaborate and work with other organizations who feel similarly compelled to do the same. One such organization is our partner organization, Pure Earth, who we have partnered with to do this amazing event on March 8th to kick off International Day of the Woman. And the event is the Force of Nature event. So joining me right now is Lara Crampe, who is the Vice President of International Relations for Pure Earth, to talk a little bit about this event that's coming up on March 8th, and also what Pure Earth stands for. So Lara, thank you so much for being a part of this year and for joining us today on iWoman.
Thanks for having me. Yeah, we're excited to be here.
So talk to us a little bit. Not everyone knows what Pure Earth is. I think the name speaks for itself, but what is Pure Earth?
We're an international organization that has been working for about 20 years all around the world in finding solutions to pollution. The reason that we do this is that in most countries, pollution is affecting people that are not the ones causing the pollution. It's a little bit different than what we might think when we think about pollution here in the US. We think about some big industry polluting the environment. But in a lot of the countries around the world, it's actually a small community doing work to survive. And that work is slowly poisoning them and their children and their communities, and they're not aware of that. So we help them identify these sources of pollution and where it's coming from and why, and how they can stop that source of pollution and clean up their communities to make them safer for themselves, their children, and just cleaner places to live.
How long has Pure Earth been in existence, and what was really the catalyst for starting this organization?
It's been around for 22 years now, and we've been identifying polluted sites and then cleaning them up. So the idea came from visiting areas where pollution is just sort of endemic. There are so many different sources. People are living in these polluted sites, and our founder, Rich Fuller, was visiting different areas and realizing that there must be solutions to this. It's not such a giant problem that can't be addressed. If you really engage with the local community, build up education around why this pollution is happening, and figure out how you can prevent it and how people can make a living in a way that isn't going to poison themselves and their kids, why not do it? And so the idea is that we can really make a difference if we go into the community and work with the local people. We can identify these sources of pollution and clean them up.
Wow, that's incredible. So tell me about some of the places. I know Philippines. I know a lot of work in South America. What are some of the other areas where this work is taking place?
We're doing really great work, especially in our women's programs in Mexico right now. We have a Circle of Women program that works with women who make traditional pottery, and they're teaching others to not use lead in the glaze of their pottery. We also have some great women's programs happening in Indonesia, where we work with women gold miners. So helping them make a living without using mercury. And so they're reducing the effects of mercury getting into the oceans and the fish and the sushi that all of us eat, but also then being able to get fair prices for the jewelry that they're able to produce with that gold.
How receptive are these communities and these workers to the education that you're exposing them to?
Very, and we do work with local communities to both develop that education and then to roll it out. So we're hiring local people, we're working in the local community. So the idea is that we want the education to be something that is coming from them. So they're helping us develop it, and then they're also the ones that are doing that teaching. And so some of that work that's happening, that Lara Ibanez in the Philippines that you were talking to, some of the work that she's doing is really directly working with local healthcare workers, local fisher folk, local women, to make that difference in their community.
When you really break it down, you think about it, and some of the statistics I read, especially around lead, it really is something that is that should be all of our concern. It hasn't been that long since just in our own country that we've started making, lead a thing, and really realizing that we were polluting ourselves. As women, as mothers, the last thing we want to do is expose our children to something that can be toxic and harmful and cause brain damage. Yet in many areas, just because of lack of information, they were exposing their children to alarming levels of lead.
Yeah, exactly. And that's why we find that it's so helpful to work with women in these communities, because they're so receptive, and because women are so adversely affected by pollution, both because of their traditional gender roles. So a lot of times they're working in dangerous industries that are involved with pollution, but then they have their kids right beside them because they have to bring them along with them on their work sites. Or they're doing some dangerous work and working with lead or mercury, and then coming home and fixing the food for the family. And so unknowingly bringing that pollution into their home. So they're very receptive when they find out that this is happening. They want to fix it. They don't want their kids to be exposed to these toxics. They don't want themselves to be exposed. And we're really worried about the effects of pollution on women, and getting that message out, because we know if we can share that message with women, that they will internalize that and prevent that from spreading.
Wow, well, it's incredible work that you're doing. So talk to me about this March 8th event. It's the Force of Nature event, and you'll be recognizing some of these women who are combating pollution and toxic poisoning around the world.
Yeah, we're really excited about this. This is our first International Women's Day luncheon. So it's our Force of Nature luncheon, and we're going to be honoring 3 women that are working in different ways to fight pollution around the world. And so they'll talk about what it is that they're doing to fight pollution. We'll talk about some of our great programs that are running all around the world, like I said. And also we are going to have a pop-up shop that lets people buy, for example, sponsoring for a kid to get their lead levels fixed, or for lead-free glaze for women that are making pottery in Mexico, or to sponsor a community to have clean water. So we're really excited about the opportunity and a way that we can engage people online, which is new for us. So we can really get more people around the table, literally. Instead of having a luncheon in person, we can have a luncheon that involves people all around the world. So we're really excited about being able to have some of our international colleagues honored at this event as well.
Yeah, I'm really excited to be partnering with you all and helping to bring this event to life this year through our collaboration with Catscape Productions, our production arm, and iWomanTV. We celebrate women, and you said earlier, these are women who have been the solution to pollution. I like that, and we all should be the solution to pollution.
Yeah, just as mothers, as community members, we all need to do our part, and we really are excited about what women can do in the world. And so we want to get the message out about what they're already doing and what the possibilities are for the future.
Awesome. So March 8th, 12 p.m., you can find out more at pureearth.org. If people want to get involved and do more, they want to volunteer or they want to be a part of this event or anything, how can they find out more information about Pure Earth? And sometimes people get caught up in trying to do something big, but what are some of the littlest things that you can even do to make a big difference?
There are small things. I mean, obviously, you can come to our website, you can sign up, you can get more information there. But in your own lives, you can ask questions. You can look at, where are the products coming from that I'm bringing into my home? Where is the food grown that I'm feeding to my kids? Asking questions, pushing others to ask questions, finding out the sources of pollution, both in your community and in the foods and in the products that we eat and that we consume, because that a lot of times ties back to the pollution that's happening all around the world in other communities. It's not just the mercury in sushi, it's also lead that's coming up in baby food, or it's things added to spices that we're getting in our teas. And so we really need to be asking questions and doing research and making sure that we're protecting not only ourselves, but in the long term, protecting women overseas that are also working in these industries.
Yeah, sometimes it's just the inconvenient truth, that we have to embrace and do something about it. It's not always convenient to make change, but it's necessary.
Yeah, ask a lot of questions.
Thank you so much for joining us, and thank you for doing this amazing, heartfelt, much-needed work out there. And we salute you. Happy Women's Day. Happy International Women's Month. And please continue to do this powerful, impactful work on behalf of women and men everywhere.
Thank you, and thanks for having us, and thanks for being a part of the luncheon. We're really excited about it.
Likewise.